That took a lot of me because I'm very hungover, you guys. But welcome to the greatest goddamn D&D stream on this world and the next here. Welcome to Goblins Under the Stairs. You got Solak the Destroyer ready to slash and bash your Sunday night away with my epic wrecking crew of destroyers. You got Fang the Bang in week 2 of his new desk. You got Wilma Shanton enjoying that nice outdoor air and the nice Baltimore Ravens win. Woo! And of course, the greatest goddamn D&D DM in all the land here. It's Nate Gonzalez. Take it away, Nate. Boop, boop, boop.
Oh, thank you, Solak the Destroyer, and welcome back, everyone, to tonight's Sunday night edition of Goblins Under the Stairs. We got a nice, fun night of Dungeons & Dragons ready and head up for you guys, so let's go ahead and do the recap and get back into this game where we last left off. Man, where did we start the last time we were all together? Someone want to do the recap for inspiration?
I forgot.
It started off with a fun Fang being held upside down.
Yeah.
From a Zirkwood mushroom tree that seemed to have been animated by some sort of a magical arcane being in the wooded area that you guys found in the Twisted Caverns down here. A big battle, went on with that after Fang was almost swallowed by one of these mushroom trees. With the fire energy from the demon sword and a couple of other magical attacks, you guys were able to take them down without too much trouble. Of course, Solak and Fang both got to see what the inside of a tree's mouth was like, and took a little bit of damage from that. But nonetheless, you guys were able to harvest some of this wood to you guys were able to harvest some of the wood from the Zirkwood mushrooms to bring back to the Kuatoya, as was your plan, to help them create some sort of chariot for a statue that they're building to create an idol for this god Klabu that they are idolizing. Just getting some of this wood together, Fang also found a couple more mushrooms in the area that he recognized, harvested those, and then you guys made your way back to the Kuatoyas, who were honestly quite surprised to see you guys still walking, still alive, and making your way back there. After speaking with, I'm sorry, what is his name? Noogaloop, you guys, Fang really was able to piece together these guys maybe weren't being as honest and upfront with you as you were hoping that they would be. Definitely seemed like they had an ulterior motive, and perhaps they were just going to turn on you guys as soon as you provided to them what they asked for. And so Fang, without wasting a moment or any second thought, ripped off one of his gems from his helm, tossed it into this room with all these 50 Kuatoya surrounding in there, and caused a massive fireball to explode in there. Of course, creating a chaotic fight to ensue. Wilma, being the meat grinder with her spirit guardians, kind of just taking down all of them after just having them walk into her flying cat whiskers, shredding them to bits, and then of course killing Noogaloop, the mage and the leader of them, last and once and for all. And with all of this carnage, the Kuatoya's flesh rotting and stinking in this area, of course there's other corpse remains in here of like troglodytes and some clacker or some hook horrors. You guys have a moment to finally breathe. Of course, with that breath comes that pungent, foul stench of these dead fish people in this area. But seemingly a moment of respite. What does the wrecking crew do?
I think we need to take a rest.
Right.
Yeah, this seems like now that it's pretty cleared out, seems like a nice place to call it an evening. Except, should we maybe check to see what's down here a little bit more?
Yeah, I was gonna think down the north and south passages. Maybe we just peek over there and see what's going on.
Well, not the north, but the east is where we came from. The mucky water, but yeah, the south area. Just make sure it is completely safe. We don't need someone coming up on us in the middle of the night.
thinking. Let's do it.
Probably go
Oh, there
down
is a
there.
north passage. I guess I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a little north one too.
Cool. As you guys continue going down here, first you make it your way into this room where you just see carnage just displayed on every crevice of the floor and the walls. You see more of these just slaughtered troglodyte corpses just lying there reeking. You see at least 5 of them, and then you see also a couple of hook horror corpses over there. As you begin to push your way a bit further here, Sorak and Wilma, you guys both hear what sounds like clicking sounds and like a clacking as well.
Like,
Is it from the north or the
Spider
south,
feet?
or which way?
It's coming from the south.
does it sound like spider feet?
You can go ahead and make a still survival check to determine what it sounds like.
Is it rolling? I think it's rolling.
I see nothing.
Let me see if my rules work. Oh, I see. Oh wow.
Whoa.
That's a big long thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not rolling.
Cool.
So I guess I'll just try and note. I'll roll a d20 and then add +6 to whatever comes out.
Okay, so I'm sorry, that wasn't working off your character sheet?
Right.
Well, let me see here.
In your settings, do you have disabled DDB dice where possible? If you click the little gear icon in the top right?
Mine just rolled.
Yeah.
Mine's not rolling either.
I don't have that.
Did you guys turn off the old beta?
Yeah, I deleted everything except this one.
And it's 1.0 beta 50 if you click the gear icon in the top right.
It says 1.0.
50.
Doesn't say beta 50 anywhere. It just says 1.0.
Should say
I can go back
below
and try
it.
to
But yeah, so on the settings down there, Silrak, on the same page, does it say disable DDB dice where possible all the way on the bottom? Do you have that enabled as a blue?
It says it, but it's not enabled. Should
Alright,
I enable it?
Try that. And then try the roll again.
I see yours, Wilma.
Yeah, I saw that, Wilma.
There you go.
Cool. So cool. Wilma, you can also roll if you want, but a 20 survival is pretty solid.
Oh no, that's fine.
Yeah, Silrak, it does not sound like spiders to you. Certainly sounds a lot more like something like stone or hard is hitting on the stone, and you also hear what almost sounds like a audible voice like clacking, almost like a large bird or something.
I look back at the.
I got you. Wilma.
Look back at the crew.
I don't know why it's
And I
on
gave
you.
him a shh. Then with my head, I nod over to where I hear the sound coming from, and I grip my swords, and I'm gonna try to, as quietly as possible, walk towards the noise.
Throw guidance on him.
Yeah, you begin to hear what sounds like the scraping against the walls inside of the cavern here, and it kind of begins to, as you begin to walk down there, just like sounds like something scraping against the stone, and you hear a few of different places where this sound could be coming from. As you begin to go down here, you see more of this vegetation of these fungi and mushrooms glowing, all different shapes and sizes. Some of those barrel-shaped ones, some of the tongue-shaped ones, some that almost are like red with a black stripe going over the top of it. And as you begin to go in here, Solrak,
I can see it.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check. Are you being stealthy as you're approaching in here?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm being stealthy.
Go ahead and make
You
a
have
stealth check.
guidance. Guidance is
But
10
the
minutes.
D4, right?
Yes.
A 10.
10 total. Okay. As you begin to step on in here and get closer and closer, the light shining from the Dawnbringer and kind of illuminates the room before you, shining in all the space. And you step on a mushroom that kind of lets off a kind of like a poofing sound, and a bunch of spores shoot up into the air, and you can see them like a dust lingering in front of your light. And with that, you hear all the clacking stop, and the eyes and the beaks all turn in that direction as they seem to notice you. And what you see before you is a fierce-looking massive predator with his head resembling something of a vulture and a torso enormous, almost like beetle, with the exoskeleton is shaped long, sharp, bony protuberances coming out of its arms. You can see they're like hooks coming out of its body. And you see many of these with their pale white eyes of orbs staring at you, and they all begin to and begin to bang their hooks together, and some of them scraping it against the stone. You see it leaving these big engraves in there.
What they're like? Can I hear what they're like squawking? Are they like saying anything specifically?
Let me double check the limitations of that ability, but you might be able to.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they're like, oh, look, a friend.
All
Let's hang
spoken
out.
languages and any creature.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you hear them definitely seeming like it's not really like sentences in the forms of like, you know, how you would speak to other people, but it's more like intruder, kill, savage, and like food and kind of things like this, like kind of like just calling them out. There's definitely like kind of very aggressive and kind of predator-like like words that they're shouting out as they spot Solrak beginning to walk on in here. And you see some of them which are pecking down at some of the lichen and the fungi in here. They begin to look up and now begin to drag their claws and their hooks behind them, and some of them clacking them in front of them as they're making their way towards Solrak.
I understand the language they speak. I'm like, oh, I'm quite familiar with vulture myself. I step up. Relax here.
You understand all spoken languages. You cannot speak them.
I thought I could speak. I thought I could respond back
can
to
you?
them.
Let's see.
Let me double check.
Remember, any creature that can understand a
Drop it in the
language
chat.
can understand what you say. Okay,
yes.
sure. Go for it.
All right. It's easy now. We don't mean no harm unless we, you know, really need to open up a can of whoop ass. We just, you know, snooping around. Hey, you guys friends with those Koyotoa back there? Yeah?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check as you do this.
It's a very in-depth conversation for this
Yeah,
creature.
wow.
Well, they're like in the same room pretty much.
Like, kill, master evil.
Yeah, you,
I go,
Look at
master
them.
old chap.
Listen, that's it.
they don't seem to really gather what you're saying. As I mentioned, the words that they're yelling, they're very like one-word phrases. They don't seem to be the most intelligent or gathering completely what you're saying. They hear you say Kuatoya, essentially, and with that, you see one of them begin to clack their hooks together and clack, 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 and so just say, kill, the fish people! And let's roll an initiative.
Does this creature look like any of the creatures that were in the Koyotoya house?
It looks
all
like
the dead bodies.
it looks like some of the carcasses, yeah.
Okay. Ah, hold on. Let me roll.
Add to combat tracker.
Dude, do I keep my guidance?
Juicy Ocho.
Guidance is up for 1 minute. I'd say with Fang that has already done this talking, your guidance is probably gone.
Wasn't it 10 minutes?
Guidance is 1 minute, I believe. You can
Oh, yeah,
correct me on that
yeah,
if it's wrong.
it's 1 minute. No, I was thinking about something. I was thinking about Wilmore's was.
Crowbar's a liar.
Let me go ahead and roll this back. Alright, so at the top of the round then, it looks like we got Wilma, who knows that with this territory of hanging with the Wrecking Crew comes typical combat, as the negotiation skills aren't the sharpest. So Wilma, what do you do to start it off?
We're just gonna Sacred Flame, the only one that I can see. 19 dex save.
19
damage.
dex, let's see. Nat 20 off the bat.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Well, let's get those out of the way on the nose.
I'll be here all night, guys.
I'm just gonna hang back. Just be like, this is a great idea.
You hear the scraping of these sharp protuberances against the stone as one of these hook horrors begin to clack, make their way over in your direction. Yeah, they're gonna just completely dash and end their turn right there. Let's see, this blue one down here is going to also dash. You guys see just them kind of running through with their hooked arms behind their back, almost like a Naruto run, and sprint their way on up here. And Silrak, now you see a few of them standing before you, all gathering around, clacking the hooks together and barking at you with their beaks.
Did you mix up Nosferatu and Naruto?
Maybe.
Naruto?
I said Naruto, but yeah.
How high are the ceilings here? Out of curiosity.
The ceilings in here are it kind of varies between like 30 to 50 feet.
Okay, and how big are these creatures?
They are quite large. They are at least like 10 feet tall as they stand over you.
Okay, but if I flew up there, okay. I'm going to run up to the closest one to me, and time to slash and bash, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and do it with demon sword. Though these are definitely not undead, right?
They are not, no. Some sort of subterranean monstrosity.
18.
18 will hit.
Nice. It's 10 plus. Oh, it's doing the double roll thing, but that's 15 damage.
Interesting. Told me they fixed it. All right, 15.
And go again. 13.
With that one, you just swing wide, he dives backwards, and you miss on that one.
Damn it, 12.
That one misses as well.
I'll go ahead and use
That one kind of
Dawnbringer
smacks your sword with his hook.
26.
Yep, that'll hit.
That's 7 damage.
Cool.
And I'm going to. I'll end my turn there.
Okay. We got another one that's standing in the darkness that you guys hear. Yep.
His movement has been reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Cool. Another one comes running up as you guys hear the clacking reverberate and echo against the walls, almost like some sort of like echo communication, as if like like dog or bats do. Let's see, and that will bring us to Fang after he dashes his way up here. You now see Fang at least 4 of them in your vicinity, 5 of them.
Yep. All right. Oh shit! Where the fuck just happened to my map? Oh, there it is. Before I come guns blazing, I say we killed all the Kortoa. Hopefully that they understand that, even though they ain't the sharpest tools in the shed. But then I will proceed to attack. This purple one was the one that we saw first, right? That I was kind of communicating with.
Yes.
All right. So I go to this blue one, and run up to it and come up with a roundhouse kick at it.
Okay. Well,
Ooh, 29.
do you want to do that, or do you want to okay. Yes.
I will. Does he have a response?
Well, go ahead and make a
prior to me
persuasion
hitting?
check.
Oh, nat 20, baby.
So you shorten down what you say, and they really hear out of that Kuatoya killed, and they all look around, and the one that you were speaking to, the purple one, lifts up his hooks in the air and like waves them around to everyone around him and clacks around a bit, and everyone seems to look around, and like the one standing in front of Solrak still looks peckish, like he wants to go and jump on him, but the purple guy, he holds up his hook in his direction and barks at him a few more times, and then you hear as he barks back to you, Fang, he says, "Show."
All right. then so I don't know if this is within my turn, but I first relay to the gents to hold your attack, and then I proceed to give him like a little gesture, and I proceed to walk. I make it to this corner. I don't want to proceed much further without them being there or like them not seeing me, and then I guess I will. Can I bonus action use a key point and do Hand of Healing
Sure.
on this turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say at this point, combat is on pause.
Okay.
As
Okay. Actually, yeah. That's what I'll do. I'll do a key point and Hand of Healing.
as this monstrosity begins to drag its hooks behind himself and one of them against the walls as it begins to follow you, Fang, for you to show him the proof of this deaths of the Kuatoya. And yeah, no, you don't need to drag the tokens on off there. He follows you behind, and you show him the carnage of a room full of slaughtered Kuatoya. And with that, his eyes go wide, and he begins to bang his hooks on his hands together once again. And he calls out, clack, clack, clack. And what you're hearing from this is, they're dead, dinner. And you hear Sorak and Wilma around you guys. You hear all of them start to clack to each other once again, banging their hooks together. And Sorak, you almost get ran over by the one in pink right in front of you, who pushes you out of the way to begin to run down this hallway and into that area where the Kuatoya were once situated. As they all make their way in there. You see them all surrounding these corpses of these fish humanoids, and they just begin to peck down on their bodies, ripping them apart. You see their beaks enter into their flesh and rip out entrails and intestines and all sorts of viscera, and it's a violent and disgusting scene. But for the moment, you have gotten these hook horrors on your side, and we're gonna call combat there.
Yeah, so I just kind of I go to the purple one, kind of poke on his I guess arm or wing, whatever, and I point at him and me, and I go, "Friends," with a thumbs up.
He just begins to peck down on the food once again, and let me just see something.
Just standing there with Solrak,
he kind of just completely ignores you. The food has completely engrossed him right now, and for the time being, you are not a priority or a thought, as these low intelligent beings are just prioritized on the free food and the deaths of these fish people in front of them. So with that, we can drop out of combat, guys.
Well,
As much as we wanted to kick some bird butts, we may not be in the best position to do so. I almost kind of had a feeling that those birds were almost being trapped as prisoners or hostages from the Kuatoa if they're tucked away back here, and Noogaloop is, sitting on a throne up in the front. I'm glad we were able to figure that out.
work.
Yeah, like I
Question
said, I
is-
wasn't in a position to really be battling. We could really use some sleep.
So,
Yes, are we
the
safe
question is-
resting here?
where the hell are we gonna sleep?
Well, I think we just made some potential bird friends.
We're gonna have to take shifts again. Done in the past, or how I used to
Or
do
do
it.
we
Old crew.
do we try to go into that city back there and see if we can rest there?
Hey,
I have
I
a
don't
feeling
know.
the city might be expecting 3 battle wounded warriors to walk in, and Narvi would be the first to know.
I think if any, I think our best bet is sleeping here, despite us knowing if these birds would try to consume us or not in our sleep.
Maybe we could hide or something.
Should we check that north passageway, or should we maybe keep trekking along down here?
I feel like the more we check, the more we find.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
As you guys begin to
Perhaps we should-
discuss this, the hookars, you guys first smell the rotten flesh of the Kuatoya as some of these hookars begin to drag with their hooks some bodies behind them, entrails dragging out in tow as well, as they all begin to take some of their feast back to their homestead.
Ew. Look at Fang and I say, "Why don't you ask him if we can sleep here?"
I'll try, but again, they are not the smartest creatures here. I don't know if they'll be able to understand what I'm trying to get at.
Maybe just let them know not to eat us.
We can go back to it now.
Is how wide is this corridor?
Like the actual room where these hookars are.
No, like the corridor. Like where? Like does it pinch anywhere, or like what's the smallest area?
I mean, you can see where you guys are and everything. Like the halls, the like path that you're in right now is just like 5 to 8 feet wide currently. Yeah, I mean,
How
if you
tall
guys-
is it?
The hall like kind of areas, they go anywhere from like 10 to 20 feet, but this room is like 30 to 50 feet. It goes up.
Okay, so like 5 foot wide, 10 feet high,
Correct.
ish.
Ish.
The corridor, not the room.
Correct.
Okay. Is there any rocks or boulders around us that we could like seal this? Because they're all funneling back here. We could like seal it off.
I'll go and make a perception check.
Perception.
Cool. 22.
Deuces.
Yeah, you kind of poke around in here a bit, and it looks like there's mostly inside this like homestead for these hookars. It's mostly all sorts of mushrooms and mounds of bat shit everywhere, and like just like bits of moss. But you begin to poke around like a bit further around some of these halls up to the north where you guys have already came from, and I'd say yeah, you're able to like you find like the statue of Klabu that they have that you could definitely possibly use.
How Cloudberry's like 5 foot tall, a couple feet wide.
Yeah, pretty much about that. It's a little bit taller than 5 feet, but yeah.
And we went. Oh, okay. Which way do we go? How do we go back?
Yeah, that's the way.
We go this way.
Up and to the right.
This. Up and to the right. All right. I mean, I think maybe we if we can pull Klabu down here, I got a spell. We could probably just make a little wall here.
What about the
That'll let
Zerkwood
us,
that we have in our bag of holding?
Yeah, like maybe if you told them we're their friends, maybe they know not to mess with us. But maybe we can just stop this side because the other side has the river, so only more fish people can come back through there. And then it's just what's going on with the north. If we could like seclude this area.
Give me 1 second. I walk over to the the vulture things, and I kind of wait. I walk over there and I'm like, my expressions that hopefully give off are like happy and friendly, and I kind of wait for them to not necessarily acknowledge me, but see me, and I want to see what their reaction is.
Yeah. So you watch as like a few of them that have already dragged some of the corpses in here begin to eat some of them, but then after maybe feeling a bit too engorged at this time, they begin to drag some of the remains down to the south. Some of them still stick around and begin to peck at their food and eat some of these remains. Go ahead and make an insight check as you're watching as you approach one of them and see how it checks you out.
24.
Cool. It seems pretty indifferent to you currently. Like I mentioned, it seems like it's very focused on its food and the fact that it has a full meal in front of it and that these Kuatoya are dead. It definitely seems like it's not worried about you as an enemy.
Okay. Okay. So I make my way on back over. Well, didn't get like the clearest of responses. It didn't seem like they're worried about us too much in the sense of, us attacking them, them attacking us. So I do think if we could bunker down somewhere like right here, it'd be all right. And I don't think if we tried to bring down the statue, I mean we can certainly try and do that and make like a little blockade, so to say, but I don't think it'd be the end of the world if we weren't able to move it to get it over here.
I mean, there could be other things down here, though. I guess that's my only. That's my problem.
I understand.
Kind of look. And I'm thinking like this area here, right? So we got a wall over here, or this area, right? Two entrances. Let me see what this thing does. Stone.
Solrak, what are you thinking about all this?
I am literally just thinking that I can fly up to the roof and pass out of my broom. This keeps taking too long.
I actually, while I'm here, is the main person or main vulture down here?
Yeah, I think it'd probably seem like the one that you spoke to is a larger, like female that seems to be the leader of the group.
All right, I'm gonna try something here. I walk up to the purple one, and again, like all friendly and nice, and I pull out of my bag a just one of the tongue of madness mushrooms, and I just present it to her, like again, like with two hands, like this, smiling, and like hold it up to her face to see if she'll like consume it, or if she. I don't think she'll know what it is.
Eh, looks at you as you do that and just kind of ignores you as looks around, and there's plenty and plenty of mushrooms in this area.
Right.
Just at this point, I'm just gonna tell them to come up here, into this little alcove I have with two entrances.
Yeah, I put
And,
my tongue of mushroom away and just kind of wave at the goodbye at the vulture.
Kind of just
And so
doesn't fully acknowledge you. It clacks a little bit, but then yeah, just goes back to feasting.
I'm assuming at some point in both of these tunnels, it's like 5 foot wide, and each one, like you said, is 8 to 10 feet high. I would suggest we get the Zerkwood out and cut a piece off with our axe or our swords, that is, because they were really wide, that is, 5 foot by like 4 foot, so that it could sit in each of the tunnels, like 2 pieces, 1 piece for the north, 1 piece for the south. And then once that's cut, I can cast Shape Stone above it. You touch a stone object, yeah, or a section of stone, or yeah, I can cast in any dimension and form it into any shape that suits your purpose. Am I able to like touch the stone wall and bring it out over it to make a door on each side?
With what now?
Yeah, I can send it to the game log.
Yeah.
With Shape Stone spell, I sent it to the game log. Like, I envision like you cut 2 circular pieces that are 5 foot wide by 4 foot tall, and then you like pull the stone out of the wall to take the top portion, and it says I can create 2 hinges, so basically just make 2 doors on each side.
Cool. No, I love
Some
it.
D&D
With a
barn
latch.
doors.
That works for me.
Yeah. 2 like latch barn doors, so this place is safe, and we can actually open the door to get out when we're done resting.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah. So describe how you do that.
So first I instruct both of them to pull the wood out. Solrak and Fang are chopping it up, and I'm like, guys, I gotta think about this lovely spell and all this stuff, and I'm really just standing in the corner, just like looking at the wall while they're doing all this very, very hard manual labor to shape it just to my needs. And then as soon as it slides in, I put my hand on the wall and kind of like draw the stone out and like attach it around the top part of the wood, and put a little latch in it. Put a latch on one side and a what's it called? A hinge on the other, and we got 2 doors.
Beautiful. And with that, you guys have found yourself a nice, secluded little grimy room filled with troglodyte and hook-horror corpses. A bit stinky, a bit putrid, but it is a room protected nonetheless. Before you
Maybe we
guys...
drag a couple of those out.
You certainly can if you like.
Yeah.
All right, I guess with that then, it seems like you guys have set yourself up for a nice place to take a long rest.
Yeah,
That's
think
right.
So guys, are we gonna go into Skullport after this, I guess?
It almost sounds that way.
Muted, Carlos.
I guess it sounds that way as well.
So when we get there, they might know the wrecking crew, and I point to both of them. And I go, I don't know if they know me, so maybe one of you guys, if you want, you can take my mask and not look exactly like yourself. And then I don't know if the other one, if you can, maybe we can disguise yourself. I don't know if you guys have any funny hats or anything you can do. But I think it would be good to have a plan, not to go in there saying we're the wrecking crew when we're going into a place crawling with Narvi's allies.
I think it would be wise for me to wear the mask, since they would probably know what my face looks like. Fang, we can figure out how to clothe you. Really, we should just cover your head. That's it.
I do have this this Yeti fur coat. It might be a little warm for that, so to say, but I could probably throw that on, and maybe some these Ahordrim spectacles that I got from Arcana Cloth.
Do we have any like shoe polish? Maybe we can give you some hair or something.
I thought that was going another way.
You get uninspiration.
Yeah, seriously.
You get inspiration.
I don't really have anything. Oh Jesus, I don't have anything else really.
No.
Is it? Did we
Just like
want to go into Skullport, or did we want to try going south, like with the river, to see if maybe the brain was
Well, I
there,
think-
or did we want to gather
think we-
intel at Skullport?
Yeah. I think if we just go south, I mean, we are in the Undermountain, so we don't really know how far down or how far over that is. So maybe we get a better idea of where it is. Maybe there's a shortcut we can find in there. I mean, I'm sure there's wizards and stuff. Maybe somebody can just teleport us down there. I'm sure there's it seems like this is Narvi's second basic command.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or we can
Yeah,
go
but
south. I
then-
mean, it's up to you guys.
Well, sort of like what you said, the Undermountain is a rather large place. It's probably not
Do
the
we-
best place to be getting lost, and not entirely sure where we're going.
Do we have any idea what like Skullport? I mean, we know it's shady and all that stuff, but is there like is there like a slave trade, or is there like any really bad stuff going on down there that we could get a ruse going on with?
Make a history check.
Give myself guidance. History. 15. 17.
Cool. Yeah, so Skullport, you would know, has a long history of being this subterranean home for all sorts of ne'er-do-wells, all sorts of thieves, crime syndicates, different sorts of guilds, and yes, slave trade has been something that was prominent in Skullport at least some point in time. There was a point in time where that was abolished and completely gotten rid of. However, with the recent turn of the way Narvi has come to power and the brain and what, these people that they're trying to gather to become thralls or slaves as well, maybe the tide has changed on that. You're not quite certain, but you do know that the slave trade that once was prominent in Skullport is not currently, and the amount of even retail or stores is very slim.
But it's not shunned.
It's not what slavery or
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's
Or, like-
shunned. It's hard to shun anything in a place where everyone, has
Well,
evil ways to
Yeah,
them.
yeah, what I'm getting at here is the easiest way to have Fang and I not be questioned or not be searched is if we're Solrak's like property, right?
Sure.
So like maybe it's and especially if Solrak has the mask, I mean no one's gonna know who you are. So maybe that's the ruse. Maybe you just don't let people look at us, and you kind of waltz us right in the front door.
A bad idea.
Well, let me ask you this. I understand we're trying to gather intel, but it almost seems like you'd rather prioritize not being noticed over that. Am I understanding that correctly?
Well, we're gonna walk into place crawling with allies of Narvi, and you two at least are probably very well known.
But
Here's
what
a
I'm
random
getting, what I'm getting at is, would you rather us go in potentially unnoticed and you gather intel, or would you like to rather go with this potential ruse and potentially go noticed, but it seems like it'd be an easier time gathering intel?
Nate, question for you. How common are beings like Wilma talking
They're not.
all things?
They are
Not at all.
They are creatures from the Feywild, from the Fey realm, and
Well, you,
not
we
something
are
you would typically see in Faerun.
So,
get away. Go ahead.
why don't I pretend rather than you're my slave? Maybe my impressive, my pet thing, people will be super impressed by you, and you might have more access as something that they think is a pet more than a slave might.
I would say with all the with the magic going on and the planes shifting on each other, it would be very, very possible that my plane shifted here and you found me and you caught me and we hang out. I mean, I think given the current circumstances, having a little bit more Feywild things in Faerun could be plausible.
There you go. And then Fang could be like a slave.
I like that.
Look
It's
at
really just
Fang.
because I have one mask, so one person cannot be seen. they don't know me, so it's how do we get the third person in? Because, like you said, Fang, I think if this whole thing could just go down really, really quickly, and I'd much rather have us all three there than just little old me.
I don't disagree with that. I think all three of us should be going in, or none of us should be going in. The reason I was kind of bringing up the question that I proposed is do we again no one really answered it, but do we want one person or all of us going in potentially being unnoticed, or
I mean,
the original plan?
we should try to be as incognito as possible, but we should also be disguised in case they do notice us.
Yeah. I think it's less are we noticed or are we noticed for who we are? Like 3 people walking in.
But what I'm asking is, would you guys rather go unnoticed going in? Like, not
Yeah, I
noticed
mean-
at all?
Yeah, but a lot of people. Which means
Yeah, I mean,
I'd
I would
rather
just like to randomly show up in the middle of Skullport, just us 3, but still disguised and with the ruse, because we're gonna have to meet people and talk to people. I don't think we can just sneak around a city.
Well,
It's
I
not
have
worth
this pass without a trace spell scroll. That's what I'm getting at.
What does that do?
I'll send it to the game log.
Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a +10 bonus to dexterity, stealth checks, and can't be tracked except by magical means.
But Narby's gotta be magic, right?
I
But
think yeah, but I think at some point in time while we're in there we might need to use this. Right? Cuz like we got to get through the dock. So we can either climb the wall or go in through the dock. We got to figure out what the hell's going on in that area, and then we have to go into Skullport. So like at some point in time we might need this, and I mean I think this only works on one person.
it works for the whole group.
Yeah, it's like up to
Range
50
self,
people.
target self.
It's the whole group. It's like I
Oh,
forget
it's
the
the whole
maximum amount of people, but yeah.
Okay.
Is it a concentration, Nate?
Pass without a trace.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It lasts for 1 hour, and you can do yeah. So it goes around you, the veil of shadows, but then you can mask any companions that are with you.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like
So
people within
you
like
guys
30
would
feet
always
of
have
you.
to. Yeah, it's within a 30 feet radius. I think that's
Yeah.
what it said. Yep, within 30 feet. Yep. So you guys would have to stay within that 30-foot radius.
Yeah. I think at some point while we're in there, we might need that. But I think running around Skullport with Pass Without a Trace, it isn't. I think there's too much
Sure.
opportunity for it not to work.
It'll take us more than an hour to do that, so
Yeah.
use it for the best hour.
All right.
I think maybe we try a ruse and walk right in the front door.
Do we have any? We have some rope that we can kind of like tie on us, but rather loosely, I guess, in the event that we need to slip out, just to kind of add on to the ruse.
Agreed. Yeah. And Solrak, if you're gonna take my mask, it is an attunement item, so you'll have to unattune to something.
Well, what does the mask do?
You
Like,
can
is it something that-
change-
It's not just something that he can wear without having to attune to use the magical effects, or would he need the effects of the attunement?
Yeah, he needs to attune to it. It's a magical mask that can change you into whatever you want to be.
Yeah, I would recommend attuning to that Solrak.
All right. By the way, Nate, how long has it been since we?
I mean, you guys are gonna be taking a long rest, so don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right, so then guess I can unattune to my dwarven plate for now. Yeah, I can do that, I guess.
And then you can just add Mask of Disguise. Or Fang can be the person, and you can be his life.
I don't mind.
It's up to you guys. Whoever we think can hide themselves the best, and
Well,
it's up to you.
if that's what you're trying to get at, then it's probably me as far as like naturally being a little bit more stealthy, so to say.
Well, I actually think we need somebody to be more persuasive, because you're going to be the face of this ruse.
I think that could be me.
Yeah. Let's just say, life with my persuasion skills come at a 0.
Unless it's with a giant,
That's right.
then I have advantage.
I have advantage.
Giants against giants. But it's those normal sized people that just
Yeah.
really fuck him up.
Right. So I guess that's what I'll do. I will take the mask.
Okay.
Damn.
I will
normies.
unattune to the undying flame, and what is it that I'm adding?
The Mask of Disguise.
Oh, am I at the
just-
Turtle Club? Turtle?
Turtle.
Turtle.
Oh, the Mask of Disguise.
Turtle.
Yeah, Mask of Disguise.
Not master.
Not Master. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then
Well, why not
maybe
totally
Soul Rat can wear that Yeti cloak over his armor and stuff.
Is it a custom item, Nate?
No,
I remember not seeing it.
it is.
Mask. Place
Maybe
of
it's
just
the
disguise.
mask.
No, I think it's mask.
It's not the mask. It's just mask.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a
Still not
it's a
seeing it.
green item, uncommon.
I see Mask of the
I just
Beast.
dropped it in there.
I might be able to add it to your inventory for you. All right. Do you guys? It sounds like the plan is laid out.
That's right. First, we must.
Is it Hat of Disguise?
That's it. It is hat of
Maybe it's
disguise.
hat, maybe I
It-
did
it's
yeah.
mask in Dritz, and that's why we made it mask. That's right.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So we go ahead and add.
But
the
is
hat.
it
It is a mask,
though
yeah.
for us? Okay.
Yeah. That's what it is in the Dritz books too. We thought that was cooler. Actually, yeah. Did you recognize these hook horrors from
Yeah.
Dritz
yeah,
to
yeah,
Clacker?
absolutely. I was like clacking. I was like, we shouldn't go down there.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So I spend this evening attuning to that.
Easy peasy.
So while we're long resting, though, I'm gonna get out some incense
Woo!
and light it
Bless you.
Woo!
and cast
Thank you.
commune. Here, I'll drop it in there.
Commune. You guys aren't a cult.
Yeah, we are. Cult of the Wrecking Crew.
That's right. Cult of
And-
personality.
And guys, I mean, I don't know if you want to read that. Like before I would do that, I would explain that to you. Basically, we can ask 3 yes or no questions, and Nate has to answer truly.
Does this count as a question?
So I'm going to ask if there's a shortcut to the brain in Skullport. I don't know if you guys have any questions you want to ask, or where I cast the spell.
Does it have to be a yes or no question?
Yes or no, or a question that could be answered by yes or no.
I would like to know something based on vision I had of my mother.
As long as it's yes or no, you can ask it.
Look, this is a
Okay.
ritual.
Yeah. So I'll take a 10-minute ritual, and then we have 1 minute to ask the question.
Yeah.
I
I'm
got a
just saying it doesn't. It's not costing you a spell slot or whatever. So.
Yeah.
All good.
So, I mean, I don't know, Luke, if you have anything. Otherwise, I can think of something else up.
Nah, I ain't got nothing. Yeah, no. Unless your question is better than me asking if we can, or if we're gonna naturally be able to sneak into Skullport.
I mean, you can always ask if there's yeah, we can always ask, is there uh is there a secret entrance from the areas that we've seen already? Yeah. And we can look for it then if they say yes.
I mean, did you have a potentially better question
No,
to ask?
I think
Okay.
it's fine.
And
Yeah.
Alright.
So is there a secret entrance from the area that we saw into Skullport? Is there a secret entrance or shortcut to the brain that we can find in Skullport or surrounding area? And then, I don't know, whatever your question was.
We'll reveal it when we get there.
All right. Well, I pull out the incense. I light it. I put my shot glasses out. I pour them. I ask my first question of, is there a shortcut to the brain in or immediately around Skullport? And like, while all this is happening, you guys see these, obviously, I mean, smoke rises up and all this stuff, and you guys start to see like a litter of cats come out. And the first one comes and it drinks the drink, and then it sits down, it looks at me, and it answers the question.
That it does, as you guys see this first cat come up and dip into this glass of holy water, and begins to lick its paws real quick, and just gives you a no.
All right. Second question: is there a secret entrance into Skullport from the area that we've seen already, from the front area where the people were?
This cat kind of walks around, rubs its side and back along you as it arches its back and takes another sip, and once again just looks up at you with its little eyes and says, no.
All right.
I look at the creature, take a deep breath, and I go, is my mother alive?
It doesn't seem to pay attention to you when you ask the question, Solrak.
I go, is Solrak's mother alive?
The cat lays on its back for a second, kind of plays with some dust in the air, then rolls back over and slaps the water, kind of in Solrak's direction, and then licks its paw. It says, as it looks up at Solrak with these little eyes, yes. And with that, goes and chases after what looks like a little rat or a mouse in the distance, and as it chases down the hall, it vanishes in a puff of smoke.
I just
Okay.
slowly turn to them. My eyes are just so wide, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Did it say yes?
Kind of putting the glasses back in my. And by the way, it's not holy water. It's like the worst tasting whiskey you've ever imagined.
Great. That is
But
holy
it's
water.
it's like 180 proof whiskey.
Ooh, baby. Some real wild
and
turkey.
Oh yeah, and I put it in, and I look at him and I go, "She never lies, my friend."
Means that son of a bitch has her, though. I can get my mom back. Now I'm just determined to cut off Narvi's head. Get what's left of my family back.
Well, you also need to think about it, my friend. There's a little bit more going on now. Is your mother the only thing that matters here?
No, but can find a way to save her. Nothing's gonna stop me from doing it.
Well, let's go see if we can find some of his friends after this little nappy poo.
Let's do it.
All right.
With all these divine artifacts put away and this brief moment of communication with a messenger of Sharice leaves Sorak with a bit to ponder as you guys take the time now to find a bit of rest. Is there anything else anyone wanted to take care of before you were to drop down for rest?
As I sit myself in a corner here, I'm going to close my eyes and, lean back against the wall. And I'm going to, in my head, thank the gods for keeping my mother alive. Then I'm going to promise her I'm coming. I'll try to get some rest.
So, Rek, as you do that and you think for a moment, you just think of all of these memories and experiences you've had across your life with your family, with your mother, and then more recently with this crew that you've called your family these past few months. Wilma, of course, more recently, but with that comes all this flood of memories and emotions. And you swear for a moment that you feel that locket that hangs on that gold chain around your neck kind of buzz and burn. So you hear that voice, a very familiar voice, gentle, feminine, but powerful voice call out in your mind. It says, "My little bear, you're already on the path. Just keep going." And that burning, that little bit of buzzing, tingling from your pendant just seems to fade as everything around you seems still for a moment. And that exhaustion, that tiredness of a long day of travel and battles seems to hit you like a ton of bricks. And learning this adds to that weight. And so, your eyes begin to close and feel a bit heavier and heavier as you all drift to sleep. Unless there was something Fang wanted to do. Alright.
Nope.
With that, the stone doors provided by Wilma hold iron tight for the evening. As you guys all wake up 8 hours or so later, 6 to 8 hours later, feeling rejuvenated, refreshed, a little stinky from the area around you, but nonetheless, ready to get back to it.
Thank the Lord I needed this long rest so bad. Good Lord.
That was great.
Fuck. Stressful.
And so gentlemen, I guess we should try to pull off a fun little ruse here.
I want a loose cannon.
I'm assuming daylight's happened, right? So I can refresh my prayer beads and stuff.
Let's see.
Or hold on, is that or is that day?
Gone.
Yeah, it's it is a new day at this point. Don't know what time it is exactly, but it is a new day. So if anything's at dawn or whatever,
Yeah,
next
if anything's
day,
at dawn,
that's
yeah.
cool. All right.
Oh yeah. So next dawn I can.
Bada
All
bing,
right,
bada boom.
so-
Yeah, you're all up. What do you do?
First
Do we
thing I
have some,
do.
what?
Oh, go ahead.
After you, my friend.
How long does Sky's self last? 1 hour, you said?
Forever.
I think that
The
mask
mask's
is
gone.
forever.
It's forever.
Gotcha. Okay. So first thing I do, I think back to when we first entered Skullport, if I recalled seeing what the any citizens on Skullport looked like.
Sorry, I got a spill. Exploded on me.
No.
Go ahead and make a history check. I'm gonna have to grab some paper towels. 12. You guys are quite far from the docks. So you really didn't want to get seen by these people, so really didn't make out much. But you do recall seeing some people down here in the caverns, in these twisted caverns. I'm grabbing a paper towel real quick.
We saw people down here? I thought we
When
just
we
saw
first
the.
came in, we saw some people at the village. I remember for the fish people. Remember there was like
There's a village before the fish people?
like a fort.
That was
Yeah, that's
Skullport.
what he's talking about. Yeah. Or is he saying that we saw? Did we see dead bodies? Is there dead people here? Yeah, because we came in the fort, and the fort goes to Skullport. That's the like gatehouse to Skullport.
Yeah.
No worries.
So I mean, I will say you know that you saw a bunch of people that you killed.
That was a drow, though, right?
I wouldn't recognize any of those people to be, I guess, like allies with anyone in Skullport, would I?
So what Wilma knows with her 17 history of Skullport is that dark elves and Durgar and all sorts of, subterranean races, of course they would dwell in a subterranean city such as Skullport.
Okay. So then what I would do is I would, with my mask of disguises, just, let's see. Somatic.
Turn into a dark elf.
Yeah. So
Drow.
yeah, I just close my eyes and just allow my body to relax and say, all right, mask of disguise, turn me into a dark elf here.
With that, you guys all watch as Fang's skin begins to change hue, a darker, almost ebony-like color. His hair begins to grow off his scalp, this luscious white long mane just flowing down to his shoulders. With that, also your appearance of your gear, your clothes begin to change to. How does it look?
My like physical appearance or what I'm wearing?
Yeah, your gear and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
everything changes
imagine,
with
yeah.
those.
So I imagine, like, as far as stature, nothing really has changed aside, from like, my black appearance. I mean, my body type as of right now is rather minimalistic in the sense of, aside from my like monastery clothing, I imagine the color just kind of turns to black. Like my skin, I imagine like I have this like black silk cape maybe flowing from like my shoulders down to like my knees, and again it's got this like nice little like sheen to it. This long white, like sleek, luscious, straight hair. And yeah, just I kind of give off this negative energy as well. Again, like my body type, is still the same, about 5.5 feet tall, still rather slender, no longer bald. Um, my canines, they kind of come to a little bit of a point now, and my eyes have gone from blue to like this smoky gray.
Okay. With that, you guys see Fang completely change appearance instantly before you guys to look like a tall, slender drow male. including with his silken robe and all sorts of fun regalia that would lead you to believe that he is indeed a drow. With that, it looks like you guys may be ready.
Just one more thing, guys. Anyone have rope that I could tie you up with? Wilma, don't get any
Ooh,
bad ideas.
So as
meow.
after you change into the drow, I kind of reach up on your mane and I just kind of like caress it for a second. And it's just kind of interesting choice. just so we're on the same page, you do know about the drow, right?
In what sense?
Well, you know, like your hometown, you know that drow
Men's the
typically think they're
Branson.
superior and perfect, and you typically think you're superior to most other races, right?
Well, I already knew that as a monk, but
That is
I digress.
that is that is fair, and
Humble monk.
you know, you typically lead with nice, you know, it's a nice firm, right? And I'm like grab his like upper thigh and just kind of like squeeze the muscles for a second, just like maybe like 2 seconds too long to his liking, and it's, you know, it's just a very firm, nice race.
I'm very uncomfortable.
But
That makes
anyway,
two of us.
yes, rope and whips, or just rope. And I pulled out some rope to, you know, I'm assuming I'm your toy, and he's maybe you found him down here or something like that. Do we have any ropes to hide Solrak with?
I miss Wilma.
I got rope.
Robes, anything to like hide
Oh.
you.
Robes, no. I don't know. Robe. Fang, do you have your fancy robe outfit thing?
Let me
Look
see
at that.
something real quick.
Yeah, I feel like we have to try our best to disguise him somewhat. We can't just roll in with Solrak with a rope.
I'll give it back.
What are you saying, rope or robe?
Robe.
Robe.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Actually, I have common clothes.
I mean, I have this Yeti
Yeah.
fur coat again that you can wear if you want.
Yeah, because like unless so that's also the other question, right? Weapons and armor. Right? It's like maybe, yeah. Would you walk a slave in carrying weapons and armor? Unless you're his prize fighter, maybe.
I like
So-
that. I like that. I'm your gladiator. You use me to gain bounty.
Do we know
What-
if there's fighting rings?
Wilma, now that you mention it, you do know that there is a fighting ring in Skullport.
We
Ah,
just can't
I
let them
love
know it's
it.
Solrak. So
Badass.
big overcoat. Maybe we scruff up the face a little bit. Put on a nice pair of glasses.
Yeah, not sure the name of it, but yeah, you do know that
Curl
there is a
his
sort of
bangs.
fight club of sorts.
They'll never know it's me.
Exactly.
Works every time. Oh. Actually, maybe the Fight Club would be a good way for you guys to get to know people around there.
I think maybe we just have to make sure that the you know, the fake toupee doesn't fall off Solrak's head if we do this. Solrak, would you shave?
I would shave my beard.
Would
Grows
you
very
shave your beard for this?
Yeah, I would do it.
You'd look like a
Yeah.
non-ogre Shrek.
Maybe, yeah. We
true.
shave Solrak. We put the big Yeti coat over him. We put some glasses on him. And we shave one eyebrow.
Yeah, yes, totally. That will.
And maybe we give him a scar right above his, right in between his eyes.
All right. Enough ideas. Shave my beard. That's enough here.
All right. Well, I think we're about ready to get going.
So,
Well, just
what
one
all
more
have you
second.
guys done to Solrak now to disguise him?
He's wearing a fur jacket,
Okay.
spectacles,
Okay.
shaving his beard,
Okay.
and I will do so with my adamantine sword,
All right.
as well as give him like a nice, fine like eyebrow trim. Maybe even like go a little too far on one. And
If he's gonna fight, we just need to remember this. I don't think you can fight with Dawnbringer. You can't pull that bad boy out and have people not know it's you. So I don't know if we have any other swords.
you want my adamantine short sword?
Eh,
I mean, Dawnbringer's pretty badass. I don't know if we have any other like magical.
obviously, I'm attuned to Dawnbringer, so maybe won't use it. But
Okay.
I don't want. I don't want to put him away. You know.
Well, if it's a fight in a ring, I could always give you my shield, which you don't need to attune to, and you could use Demon Sword.
As we're kind of discussing like different weapons for Solrak to use, I kind of like gear my attention to the staff that I found over by those living Zerkwoods to see if I can figure out exactly what the powers it may possess.
Sure. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Come on, Arcana. Motherfucker. 11.
Not quite sure yet. You definitely know that there's some sort of magic on this. And if you were to maybe, attune your arcane energy to it, maybe you'd be able to unlock the secrets of it as well. But without that, or some sort of identify spell, or actually be able to identify with your arcane senses, innate senses, it's really hard to tell.
Yep.
So, I tell you what I'm gonna do before we go in. So the spell book that we found from, what's her name? Where is it? Group notes, loot pile. From Kiri. Alter self's on there. Can I like rip that page out and give it to Solrak, or do I have to give him the whole book?
No, you can give him just that one.
All right. So I'm gonna give you the spell scroll of Alter Self. So, in a pinch, if you need to run or people think, if something happens, you can try to cast the spell, and you can change your appearance however you want for 1 hour. So if people are like, Solrak's here, kill him, go turn into not you. Or try to, at least. Sound good? You're muted if you're talking.
Sounds great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So then, right before we go, you guys see me kind of go out in the corner, and I just give me one more second. I got one more little trick up my sleeve, and I pull some stuff out and I do some things, and after like 10 minutes go by, inside of, let me see here. Yeah. Inside of each of your heads, you just hear, can you hear me? Just inside your head. And we now have a telepathic bond for an hour. Until it spends in, the targets can communicate telepathically through the bond. Yeah, so now, at any point in time, we can talk to each other through our minds without other people noticing.
Whoa.
All right.
Bulimic. Okay.
All right. If that's only gonna last an hour, we better get a move on then. Let's get to the water.
I can cast it again. It just takes me 10 minutes to cast, so I can if we find some time, we can always do that again. But let's it's kind of like kick open the door, and it's like, let's go.
Let's go. I say that with my
Alright.
mind. Doing double-eyed wink.
I look at him like, why the fuck is he doing that?
All right. Make sure you're tied up with your rope.
Well, let's go out, get on the ship, and then as we kind of flow forward, I imagine Fang. First off, what's your name, Fang?
I guess that's a good point. Ward.
Ward. And
That's
Solrak,
right.
what's your name?
They can call me. Just call me the Barbarian. That sounds cool.
The Barbarian. I like that. Sounds like we found you. You guys can still call me Wilma. I don't think anybody knows me.
I'm just gonna call you it.
It, aka Wilma. Sounds like a great plan.
No, Solrak, you're Wilma. I see Noogaloop's dead body there, and just spit on it.
And I kind of lean back at Solrak and go, he's getting into character. All right. So I imagine get on the boat, take positions, and sail on in.
Let's say the magic word, though.
Yep, hold on. Let me get it out. And Rampoo. He said
Do we
poo.
have before we go into this, do we have a safety word that if someone says, all hell just breaks loose?
He poopy.
Yeah, that could be it. All hell just broke loose. That'll be my safety word.
Mary
Safety
and
word
Mary.
is all hell.
Very good thinking, actually.
All right.
Boat begins to sail off without its slave.
Yeah, I lost.
He's hopping, arms tied up.
Hey, where's it?
I'm just holding a rope and it's not tied to anything.
Wait, so Wilma, are you
you-
not going to be tied up? Don't.
I guess if I'm your friend, I can always I can have him tied up, and then you just kind of tell me what to do, and I'm just your faithful servant.
That's right.
A good servant as small as me would kind of cower at a big strong drow like you, and I again just kind of squeeze his upper thigh.
That's
Easy
right.
with that.
All right.
Maybe
You're
stop doing so
outsmarted.
many squats.
All right,
Right?
slaves. If
Ready
that's
to
the
rock?
case, proceed to row.
I am your fighter, so I must preserve my strength, and I kick my
No,
feet up.
I begin to row and we barely move.
Remember, I own you. It.
Just-
we're just going in circles.
Please help.
Well, we've got to get the boat to turn in the north direction.
So, right,
Wilma,
The
so
faster we get there, the faster we can save your mother.
and not only that, the faster we get there, the more time we have on this telepathic relationship, so that Wilma doesn't have to do it again. So I suggest you row it.
That is fair. And well, if once we get close and we're outside of the range, I would just do it again, so that we get his max time in there.
Word.
And away we row.
Yeah, it's a ritual, so I can cast as many times. It's free as long as I have 10 minutes.
Wait, the barbarian. What's my name? I'll give you a hint. It's practically drow backwards. Yep, there we go.
Word. Okay, it is drow.
Lord.